managing people, daily. Same thing with documenting what happened, being able to properly document what happened with an incident. That may be part of a police report. One example I gave was a situation where someone abused the key card, and that was part of a police report. Their key card hadn't been turned in. They still had it. The key card on top of that was still active, and they were able to get into an area and take some things from that area they weren't supposed to. When you go through these objectives, and these are the 501 objectives, there's something I want to bring to attention that you need to pay attention to on objectives. You see this little section right here that says CompSecurity Exam Objectives versions 2.0? Pay attention to that. The reason why I say pay attention to that, because 601 is barely 3 good months old, and it's already on 2.0. Another example of a set of CompTIA objectives that change is Network Plus. Network Plus can go up to 5.0, 6.0, but read this little section right here on your exam objectives and make sure, say it again, make sure you are using the correct exam objectives. If you're not using the correct exam objectives, you're going to have a problem, because the test you're going to be tested on is going to be based off the current objectives, which means if, say, for instance, you downloaded objectives, say, in February of last year for 501, and they were on the 1.0 version, and you just study what's on the 1.0 version, you're going to have a problem. I give you an example of this. Let's look at, now this is, bring that down, see. This is what the 501 objectives look like currently. See that? Now, watch this. See if I can get it. Not you. No, that's no. Well, yeah, like I said about Network Plus. I'm just making sure right here. See right there where there's that version number? Make sure you're using the correct version. Let me pull up the right 501. I know I got it here. Hold on a second. No, not you. Nah, that's one of those little exam deals. Where are you? I know you on here. That's with your books. See right here where it says 5th edition? When you go on Amazon or wherever you buy your books, make sure you're using the most current edition of the book you're studying. I'll give you an example of why. These books here, like this book right here, see that right there? Exam SY0-04. There's some things in here that are not on the 501 exam. There's some things on the 501 exam that took sections as 401 and condensed them. That is why it's so important to make sure you have the right objectives. Damn, I know I got these damn things. I know I do. I know I do. No, okay, how do I have 2 of those damn exams? Nope, I should have 2 of those. How did I miss that? Contacts. If I have to put out a paper one of these, I'm all of what I'm saying. Where is What is, I'll have to pull out. Do I got those? Do I got those? I don't. But the ones that sometimes your boot camps have, some of them have the current ones, some of them don't. And I wanted to show you the difference, but I, for whatever reason, don't have the actual scanned in handout of the objectives that were used in a boot camp I was sitting in on the other day. It basically wasn't this. It was objectives, but it was like the 005, like the very first objectives they had from about 3 years ago now. Because I want to say the CompTIA 501 is 3 years old. It just give you a little overhang for the test, which is that's the other part of it. Make sure you're using the right objectives and the right books. If you're doing 601, make sure you have the 601. Make sure you have the 601 test. Make sure you have the 601 book. Make sure you have 601 practice test. Make sure you're studying the 601 objectives or 501 objectives. Mixing and matching don't work out too good, except in this little scenario. Let's say, for instance, 401 notes gave you a clearer definition of something that you may couldn't find in the 501 notes. That is the only exception, but it's one of those things you have to go through and find them or look through the objectives. Okay, I can't find anything in this, and I step back to 401, I step back to 501. Oh, 501 has this definition. That'll be the only section you'll be able to use. But when you get to a situation like with 501 and 601, they take certain sections and condense them. Like, let me give you an example. When you go over to the mighty 601 objectives, you get to the 601 objectives, here's what you have. But when you come back to those mighty 501 objectives, here's what you have. Now you may be saying, wait a minute, over here in the 601 objectives, they left off the cryptology section, PKI. No, they didn't. What they did was they included this section right here, number 6. They stretched it out between architecture, design, and implementation. So most of it is still there. It's just not broken off into a separate section by itself. It's not broken off. They didn't just take this out completely. They took it and condensed it into these two sections right here. And that's what you have to be aware of, because when they condense it, it doesn't go away. Just like when you look at the wording of these objectives, when you get down into the objectives, like this is 501. This is 501. This is 601.